Abandonment, Part 1. What is it and how it relates to our emotional state? The word abandonment is a term that describes something being left, passed away, or ended. When it comes to human relationships, psychologists use this term to describe a child being unexpectedly left alone, ill-prepared, without resources, and unable to fend for themselves. Abandonment can be physical or emotional. Although as fully grown adults, we have the skills and resources to fend for or take care of ourselves, this sensation or feeling of being abandoned can still be quite powerful. Why is that? As we learned in the last mini class, if we had uneven or inconsistent parenting and didn't experience secure, reliable relational attachment as our emotional nervous system was developing, we can end up feeling emotionally anxious, unsure, or unstable, and we may find it difficult to rely on or trust people. If you haven't watched the relational attachment video in this series, this may be a good time to do that. Then return to this one. Said differently, that lack of a consistent, trusted relationship at a time when we're still developing can result in a child feeling as if they've been left alone to fend for or figure things out on their own. And this feeling of abandonment can happen on an emotional level, even when the child is physically provided for. If something traumatic occurs and a stable adult isn't present to guide the child back to calm and help them make sense of the incident, this emotional experience can be amplified. This is why the effects of trauma often have less to do with the incident itself and more to do with the child being left alone to make sense of and recover from this painful emotional experience on their own. Take a moment and imagine yourself as a child who doesn't have a trusted, reliable relationship, who has very few resources and language skills, and who hasn't learned healthy ways to calm their intense emotions. What would you do? You'd do what you knew how to do at that age in order to make yourself feel better. Running away, distraction, hiding, and behaving in ways that push people away. These are all ways a child might avoid that terrible abandonment feeling from happening again. And to top it all off, the child's young, still developing brain is left without guidance to create an age-reflective explanation or meaning about that experience, which, as you can imagine, is often inaccurate or not comprehensive because they're so young. The abandonment wound involves three things: an upsetting or traumatic experience, a child's underdeveloped physical or emotional state, and the absence of a trusted relationship to help them make sense of the situation and show them how to return to emotional calm. And since we know that even great parents can't always be present all day, every day, and since we know that a child often doesn't have the language skills to talk about or even ask about an unwitnessed experience, you can start to see how a variety of things can be traumatic to a still developing young brain, which means that the abandonment sensation can occur in a wide range of intensity and that any of us can grow up with unhelpful beliefs about ourselves or the world around us. Here are some examples. There's something wrong with me. I'm not enough. It must be me. It's my fault. No one is reliable. I'm on my own. Relationships are too risky. Those are all meanings that can be created by a young child's brain trying to figure things out on its own and doing the best it can to make sense of an unexpected situation when there wasn't a consistent, trusted relationship present, and or they just didn't know how to ask for help. If you'd like to learn how to track down your own child-created thought patterns that may be influencing your adult life now, check out the Human Infusion Project class, What's Stopping You? Discover the beliefs that may be limiting your potential. And stay tuned for our next Simply Stated video, Abandonment Part 2, how it shows up in our adult love relationships. See you in class.